has a startling fact to share. According to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner. In observance of October being Domestic Violence Prevention Month, we wanted to talk with an expert.
Our first guest is the executive director of the Dad's Resource Center, and he joins us by Zoom this morning to talk about 4 ways fathers can help prevent domestic violence. We welcome Jeff Steiner to Virginia this morning. Hey, Jeff.
Thanks for having me today, Jessica and Bill.
It's great to see you today, Jeff. This is a really important conversation, and we're talking from the perspective of partners. This happens both from 2 men, 2 women, and reciprocated. But you have some insight to share in terms of modeling. That's one of the first bits of advice.
Well, absolutely. It's the expectation in the Dad's Resource Center that all fathers treat the mothers of their children, all women and children with respect, kindness, dignity, and grace. And it's important. October is Domestic Violence Prevention Month, and it's important to reaffirm those commitments during this month.
Yeah, make your family a top priority and treat them as such. Another clue here, or another idea, is to take care of yourself. This is kind of, we go back to that, airplane scenario where the mask drops down. You got to put it on yourself. You got to take care of you first before you can take care of anybody else.
Well, absolutely. Ensuring the safety and security, as well as the health and happiness of his family, is a man's most sacred responsibility. And even in a separated family, a father needs to be the protector for his children and the mother of his children. And you start first off with your actions, how a father acts sets the tone for the entire family. And he should always be role modeling by treating everyone, particularly women and children, with love and patience. But also, Bill, as you know, there's tremendous stress in this day and age. I mean, this world, there's a lot going on. And the first thing a man has to do is take care of himself. And whether that's hunting and fishing, going to the gym and working out, going to church and exercising his faith, he needs to do those things to take care of his body and to clear his mind so that he can be the best possible person that he can be, and show that as how you should act to his children and his family.
We talk often, Jeff, on the show about finding that way of self-care to decompress, to de-stress, so you can present your best self. This scenario with violence, especially violence with an intimate partner and at home, is a generational issue. This is not something that just pops up. This is, as you're suggesting too, learned behavior, observed behavior.
Absolutely. Boys learn from their fathers how they treat other people, how they treat women. And girls learn from their fathers what to expect, and what you grow up in, that's going to be an indicator in terms of a man, how he's going to behave as an adult. And for a woman, what kind of environment that they're more apt to put themselves in. And there's a preventative factor there in that regard to stop it before it even begins, again, particularly when it comes to males.
It's interesting because I grew up in a family, my dad and mom were just, fantastic. And it was hard for me when I started becoming a teenager to even grasp the concept of a man hitting a woman. It was like, what? But obviously that is not the case. And so, or vice versa, that people would hit one another or hurt one another. So, some of us need to be educated to the fact that, yeah, it's a real thing. And those numbers that you have are just mind-blowing.
Well, and obviously, as you know, people, if you grow up in that, you don't know that exists, and that isn't the way it should be. But no man should ever raise his hand either to actually strike or to threaten anyone else. Again, much less women and children. And so in addition to doing it for our own family and to make sure that our children are safe and that the mother of our children is healthy, we need to do it so that other men understand that's the expectation. Because you're not a man. honestly, if that's how you behave and how you act.
No partner should do this to their partner or to anyone in their family or anyone at all. But in your same vein, Bill, in not knowing that this was happening out in the world, folks who are being raised in this environment
don't know the
can't
other way.
envision the reciprocation. Jeff, this month of awareness, we should all be cognizant that if we observe. Maybe the question is really, what should we be aware of observing to be able to suggest resources, to be able to find help?
Well, absolutely. It's important to understand that there are a lot of programs out there, prevention programs and intervention services. We need to be aware of those and participate in them, all of us, to be able to know how to identify these types of situations, and then also how to help those who may be at risk or are actively or actually in a situation where they are in harm's way.
So if we get in touch with the Dad Resource Center, obviously you help folks learn the ways to get through to people. That is your mission, and that's what you want people to do, right?
The Dad's Resource Center provides education, resources, and advocacy for single fathers who are struggling to be in the lives of their children. This is just one of those issues that we need to highlight because this is common cause. And this is the way that we need to say children need both parents, mothers and fathers actively involved in their lives to be able to have the best chance of being successful when they go out into their adulthood. So this is just something that is common cause that the Dad's Resource Center is 100% supportive of.
It won't end with one phone call, but it certainly can start with one reaching out. Jeff, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us this morning.
Thank you very much. If I can just say, we could help Pennsylvania by bringing up this whole Thursday.
Leopard print. Yeah, we'll send it up. I'll send you mine.
This might relieve stress for everyone, particularly going into the weekend. So you guys are definitely forerunners when it comes to that.
Well, thank you. It's a little self-care. No, all kidding aside, it's a little self-care, and I'm glad Mr. Bevins is part of the fun. Jeff, great talking with you today. Thank you so much.